Have you ever been so overwhelmed by self doubt that you felt completely paralyzed? Like you couldn't move no matter what? I've been there. I've felt that gut wrenching fear, the negative voices, and the weight of judgment pressing down on me. But here's the truth: self doubt is normal, but it doesn't have to define us. In today's episode of Rise and Slay, I'm going to share my story of how I overcame self doubt, how I confronted my fears, and how I chose to pursue a path that fulfills me. I hope that by sharing this, it inspires you to face your fears head on, believe in yourself, and take action, even if it scares you. Hi, I'm Kim Sarial, and this is my story. Despite being a former beauty queen, public speaker, actress, real estate broker, and someone people often looked up to, I doubted myself deeply. People believed in me, but I couldn't even believe in myself. First of all, this is not just another motivational video, it's personal. This journey has been one of the toughest and most vulnerable experiences of my life. From the outside, I might look confident and strong, someone who seems fearless, but the truth is, like you, I'm human. I feel fear. I've been scared of judgment, rejection, and failure. And to be honest, even creating this YouTube episode, sharing my story, took so much courage for me. If you're struggling with self doubt right now, I want you to know you're not alone. I've been there. I've felt the heaviness of it, questioning myself, asking, am I good enough? Am I capable? What will people think of me? Self doubt isn't just a fleeting thought, it's that voice in your head whispering, you're not enough. For me, it came from a deeply rooted trauma. Growing up, I felt like I had to be perfect to earn my family's pride and love. Every mistake felt like a failure, and that fear followed me into adulthood. Even after achieving so much, winning pageants, speaking to crowds, closing deals, and in me excelling in my career, I carried that fear of failure. I was scared to start tasks if they weren't guaranteed to be perfect. I'd get stuck, paralyzed by my own expectations. But here's the thing: self doubt is a thief of potential. It robs us of joy, growth, and opportunities to thrive. In this episode, I'm sharing the raw, unfiltered truth about my struggles and the steps I took to break free. I hope it inspires you to do the same, because one thing I've learned is it's often the things that scares us the most that holds the greatest rewards. Let me take you back to where it all began. Growing up, I was the achiever in my family. I felt the weight of needing to be perfect in everything. When I made a mistake, I was often made to feel like I wasn't good enough, like I was a failure. That left a mark on me. As I grew older, I achieved more. I became a beauty queen, an actress, a host, a public speaker, and eventually a multi awarded professional. From the outside, it seemed like I had it all together, but inside, I was battling an intense fear of failure. Whenever things felt overwhelming or imperfect, I'd freeze. I'd procrastinate, not because I was lazy, but because I was so afraid of getting it wrong. And when I did succeed, I would downplay my achievements. I couldn't see my worth no matter how much others praised me. This pattern became exhausting. I felt like I was living two lives: the confident, capable woman everyone saw, and the self critical, doubting person I kept hidden. One vivid memory that captures my struggle was during a beauty pageant. I had worked tirelessly to prepare, but as I stood backstage, I questioned everything. Was I good enough? Did I deserve to be here? I smiled for the audience, but inside, I was terrified of failing. Another defining moment was as a public speaker. Standing in front of a crowd, I felt the weight of their expectations. I kept thinking, what if I mess up? What if they don't like what I have to say? The pressure to be perfect was so suffocating. Even my career as a multi-awarded real estate professional, self-doubt crept in. I'd close a deal or receive recognition, but instead of celebrating, I'd think, was that just luck? Can I do it again? During the pandemic, my struggles intensified. As a real estate professional, I experienced more than 5 failed transactions. Buyers backed out, chose other agents, or had deals fall through at the last minute. For almost 3 years, I barely closed any transactions. This period made me question if I was good enough. I felt like I had failed as a broker and even started doubting if this path was meant for me. But then an opportunity arose. I returned to a luxury real estate developer as a manager, and everything began to change. I was able to close multiple transactions again and help my sellers achieve their first sales. This experience helped me reclaim my confidence and reminded me of my capabilities. Before real estate, I faced countless rejections while trying to pursue other paths. I applied to be a flight attendant with multiple airlines, sought roles in hotels, and even attended casting calls for modeling. Each rejection chipped away at my confidence. I started believing that maybe I wasn't good enough for any of these paths, and I doubted whether I had what it took to succeed. Looking back, I realized that my achievements didn't erase my doubts, they magnified them. I was so focused on external validation that I forgot to validate myself. One of the most pivotal moments in my journey was when I decided to leave my secure role as a sales manager at a luxury real estate developer. On paper, it was the perfect job, it was stable, prestigious, and aligned with what people expected of me. But inside, I felt empty. I wanted more, not more success, but more fulfillment. I wanted to pursue my passion for helping others grow and become the best version of themselves. But leaving that job felt terrifying. The voices in my head grew louder. What if you fail? What will people think? You're leaving something great for the unknown? It took everything in me to silence those doubts and take the leap. And while it wasn't easy, it was the most liberating decision I've ever made. Overcoming self doubt wasn't an overnight process. It took years of unlearning, healing, and intentional effort. Here are some tips that I would want to share with you that helped me overcome my self doubt. Understanding my triggers, I had to confront the root of my fears. Why did I feel the need to be perfect? Why was I so hard on myself? It all traced back to my childhood trauma. Once I understood where these feelings came from, I could start to release them. Next would be I did meditation and grounding. I turned to meditation to help me ground myself, taking even just a few minutes each day to center my thoughts and breathe deeply helped calm my mind and reconnect with my inner strength. Embracing imperfection, I learned to let go of the idea that everything had to be perfect. Mistakes aren't failures, they're opportunities to grow. I started telling myself, done is better than perfect. Every step forward, no matter how small, was progress. Positive affirmations. Every morning, I rewired my thoughts with affirmations. I'd stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm worthy of love and success. I'm capable and strong. I believe in myself. At first, it felt awkward, but over time, those words became my truth. Next would be stopping the need for validation. I stopped seeking validation from others and started believing in myself. I realized that no one else's approval could define my worth. It had to come from within. Next would be surrounding myself with supportive people. I leaned on mentors, friends, and family who reminded me of my worth. When my inner critic was loud, they were the voices of encouragement I needed. Last would be taking action despite fear. The biggest game changer? Taking action. I stopped waiting to feel ready and just started. When I launched Rise and Slay, I was terrified, but with each episode, I felt stronger and more aligned with my purpose. Here's the most profound lesson I've learned. Self-doubt doesn't go away completely, but it loses its power when you take control of your narrative. You can either be your own worst enemy or your greatest ally. I realize that my worth isn't tied to perfection or achievements. It's rooted in who I am, flaws, fears, and all. And when I embraced that truth, I became unstoppable. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. Believe in yourself, even when it's hard, because you are enough, you are capable, and you're worthy of living a life that fulfills you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever struggled with self doubt? How did you overcome it, or are you still working through it? Share your story in the comments below. Let's create a space where we uplift and inspire each other. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode of Rise and Slay. Thank you for being here, for listening to my story, and for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Until next time, keep rising, keep slaying, and never stop believing in yourself. Subscribe for more inspiring episodes and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today.